The search began innocently enough, a mere blip on my social media radar. I was accustomed to the ebb and flow of followers, the occasional spike from a viral post, but this felt different. As the numbers climbed, I felt the ground shift beneath me, a sense of foreboding creeping into my thoughts. My once modest following exploded into an army of faceless avatars. Their profiles, blank, devoid of life, haunted my notifications, a constant reminder of their presence. Who were they? Why had they chosen me? These questions gnawed at me, fueling a growing unease. I scrolled through their accounts, desperate for clues. No posts, no personal information. Just a void, an unsettling emptiness that gnawed at my sanity. Their usernames read like cryptic messages at Whispering Shadows, at Veiled Truths, at Silent Witness. And they followed me with an unwavering determination, as if bound by some unseen pact. The more I delved into their profiles, the more I felt like I was staring into an abyss, an endless void reflecting my own fears back at me. The messages started subtly, a like here, a comment there. But soon, they grew bolder. My inbox flooded with direct messages, each more cryptic than the last. "We see you," one read. "Your secrets are ours," whispered another. I laughed it off initially, convincing myself it was just trolls playing a prank. But the laughter died in my throat as the messages became more personal, more invasive. They knew things about me, things I'd never shared online. It was as if they had a window into my soul. Sleep became a distant memory. My nights were plagued by nightmares, vivid and horrifying. Faceless figures with outstretched arms, reaching for me, pulling me into darkness. I'd wake up drenched in sweat, the echo of their silent screams still ringing in my ears. My friends noticed the change in me, but what could I tell them? That I was being haunted by my followers? They'd think I was losing my mind. Their messages arrived at odd hours, insidious whispers that slithered through my consciousness. "We know your secrets," they taunted. How could they? I'd kept my past hidden, buried beneath layers of curated content. Yet they peeled back those layers, exposing my vulnerabilities. My childhood fears, my broken relationships, my guilt, the faceless followers reveled in my discomfort. I tried to block them, mute their voices, but they persisted. Their words echoed in my dreams, blending with the nightmarish images that plagued my mind. Figures with elongated limbs, featureless faces, and eyes that bore into my soul. I wondered if I was losing my grip on reality. Perhaps I had stumbled upon a digital cult, a malevolent force that thrived on fear. One night, the messages took a darker turn. They weren't just cryptic anymore, they were commands. "Look outside your window," one message demanded. Trembling, I approached the window, my heart pounding in my chest. The street was empty, but I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The next message sent chills down my spine, a photo of me standing at the window, taken from just outside my house. I shut the curtains, feeling the walls of my home closing in on me. Days turned into weeks, and my life unraveled. I barely ate, barely slept. My work suffered, my relationships strained. The faceless followers were always there, lurking in the background, waiting for the moment to strike. I started to see their faces in crowds, faceless and void-like, always watching. I became paranoid, isolated, a prisoner in my own life. Every shadow held a threat, every silence a whisper. Desperation drove me to seek answers. I started researching online, diving into forums and chat rooms. I found others who had experienced similar hauntings, their lives similarly unraveled by these faceless entities. But no one had answers, only more questions. Who were these followers? What did they want? I felt like I was teetering on the edge of madness, the line between reality and nightmare blurring with each passing day. My investigation led me down a rabbit hole of encrypted forums and hidden servers. The cult called themselves the Blank Collective. Their manifesto spoke of ancient rituals, forbidden knowledge, and a hunger for power. They believed that anonymity granted them access to realms beyond our understanding. Social media was their conduit, a digital Ouija board connecting our world to theirs. I deciphered their coded messages, piecing together their dark purpose. They sought to manipulate reality, to bend it to their will. and I was their unwitting pawn. My influence, the likes, the shares, amplified their magic. But why? What grand design required my sacrifice? Each discovery led to more questions, each answer more horrifying than the last. The Blank Collective was not just a cult, it was a global network, a web of faceless followers connected by a shared desire for chaos and control. Their rituals were dark and twisted, involving sacrifices of both the physical and digital kind. They believed that by harnessing the power of social media, they could tap into an ancient force, a deity that thrived on fear and pain. I found evidence of others who had been targeted, their lives destroyed by the collective. Influencers who had risen to fame only to disappear without a trace. Their social media accounts left as eerie memorials, filled with cryptic messages and unsettling images. It was as if the collective had erased their existence, consuming their souls for their dark rituals. As I delved deeper, I began to see patterns, connections. The collective's influence was everywhere, their reach extending far beyond social media. They had infiltrated every aspect of my life, monitoring my every move. I felt like a puppet, my strings pulled by unseen hands. I had to find a way to stop them, to break free from their grasp. But how could I fight an enemy I couldn't see, couldn't touch? As I dug deeper, I uncovered their inner circle. The faceless followers gathered in secret, their chants resonating through the digital ether. And there, at the center, stood their leader, the puppet master orchestrating my torment. Their voice, once familiar, now dripped with malice. My closest friend, my confidant, had betrayed me. They revealed themselves, a void where a face should be, eyes like black holes devouring all light. You were chosen, they whispered. Your life, your fame, it was all part of the ritual. The blade descended, and I glimpsed the truth. My existence had been scripted, my suffering a necessary sacrifice. The betrayal cut deeper than any blade. This was someone I had trusted, someone who had stood by my side through thick and thin. They had watched me rise, cheered me on, all the while plotting my downfall. Their betrayal was a wound that festered, a poison that seeped into my soul. I confronted them, desperate for answers, for a reason. But their eyes, those void-like eyes, offered no solace. In a moment of clarity, I realized the depth of their deception. Every success, every failure, had been orchestrated. I was a pawn in their twisted game, my life manipulated to serve their dark purpose. They had chosen me for my influence, my reach. I was the perfect vessel to amplify their power, to spread their darkness. My fame was a curse, a beacon that had drawn the collective to me. I was trapped, cornered in the digital realm. Their chants grew louder, a cacophony of voices that drowned out my thoughts. The void consumed me, pulling me into darkness. But even in the depths of despair, I vowed to fight. I would not let them win. I would not be their sacrifice. The cult's purpose unfolded, an ancient deity hungered for release. My pain, my fear, fueled its ascent. As the blade pierced my flesh, I glimpsed the cosmic tapestry, the threads connecting us all. The faceless followers chanted, their voices merging with the void. And in that moment, I understood, we were all pawns, dancing on the edge of oblivion. The final revelation was a truth too horrifying to comprehend. The collective sought to unleash an ancient force, a deity that thrived on suffering and fear. My life, my fame, had been a tool to amplify their power, to bring this deity into our world. I was a sacrifice, my pain the key to their dark ritual. But in my final moments, I saw beyond the veil. I glimpsed the connections that bound us all, the fragile threads of existence that held our reality together. The faceless followers were not just avatars, they were conduits, channels for the deity's power. Their anonymity was a mask, hiding their true nature. They were the harbingers of darkness, the bringers of chaos. And their hunger was insatiable. As the blade descended, I felt my soul being pulled into the void, my essence consumed by the collective. But even as I was consumed, I vowed to fight, to haunt them from beyond the veil. My legacy would linger, a warning etched into the digital fabric. Beware the followers without faces. They hunger for more than validation. They hunger for souls.
We are a growing channel. Please like and subscribe.